Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. Just give it a few minutes for people to hop on. Hello. All right, so welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rod with PAL Group, and today is Monday, February 22nd. I hope everyone is well today. We're going to get started here in just a second. Just going to give it a few minutes for people to join us today. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. I'm feeling recharged and was ready to hit the ground running today. We had an eventful day today, obviously a very bearish day, so we'll jump right into today's content in just a few moments. And don't forget to smash the like. It shows me some support, and the YouTube algorithm likes that so that we can get as many people on here as possible. So the market is pulling back today, and we'll discuss what we can potentially expect for tomorrow. So we'll give it about 10 seconds or so and we'll get started. Okay, so welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Again, today is Monday, February 22nd, and in today's video we're going to discuss weakness in big tech, and specifically Tesla and Apple. So before we jump into today's content, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this market perspective. The market is getting nervous about Powell's testimony this week, so found that interesting, and you can check that out for the full article. I mean, we're seeing a lot of bearish just headlines and talking heads. So the narrative right now is we need a correction or we're heading lower, yada, yada, yada. So we're seeing more and more news headlines alluding to that fact. And we saw Tesla suffers the biggest fall since September. So shares of Tesla closed down 8.55% on Monday. And we saw a lot of money, and I mentioned this on Friday as well, that money was rotating out of big tech, out of MJ, out of those, those huge, that influx of capital into those specific sectors was shifting into the recovery stocks. And we saw a lot of airliners. Air Canada was doing well today, and AMC was up as well on some news about reopening in the United States. And we saw crypto saw a huge volatile dump today. We'll take a look at that and what happened there. But essentially, Elon Musk tweeted that the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum seemed high. And we saw everything come crashing down. And it was shortly after Yellen also sounds a warning about extremely inefficient Bitcoin. So this is the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, on Monday. Extremely inefficient way to conduct monetary transactions. And I'd have to agree with her. I don't think Bitcoin's ever really going to be anything more than a store of value. It's like comparing Netscape to Google Chrome. In my opinion, it's very outdated technology. It's great. It has a proven track record. It's never been hacked, and it's safe. But in terms of global payments, it's just not the solution. It's very outdated technology. It can take hours to send Bitcoin sometimes. It can take, I've sent Ethereum the other day, took about 40 minutes, and even Ethereum's not good enough. I think XRP, XLM are very good candidates for that. But personally, I don't think Bitcoin or Ethereum are ever going to be used as a form of global payments. It's just not built for that, in my opinion. So we saw some flash crashes on the crypto space, and ultimately Bitcoin is holding up well here. We're still in a daily uptrend. So we had support here at 45,768 on Coinbase, and we got to 46,700. So we held that daily support and we held EMA 26. So nothing really to see here. Yes, we did drop a significant amount, but we pulled back just under 20% in a day. So we'll see. This may not be the end of this pullback, but we'll see how we close out this daily candle here in about 1 hour and 33 minutes, but it's looking good. So we saw some weakness in the overall broader market today. And taking a look at Ethereum real quick, and we'll move on. It did lose its daily uptrend, so we did lose support. And we had another higher low here at 1493. We got as low as 1508, so we held that 1500 psychological and that support right thereafter. So Ethereum standing out as a little bit weaker. We saw the blockchain names today absolutely explode. So we saw a huge dip on Hive. I just want to highlight this. What a absolute rocket from the low of the day. So this is what I cautioned last week, and I also cautioned about Tesla and Apple. I said that they looked extremely bearish on the weekly, and we had no support, and we were on the verge of daily downtrends. And then today we saw a huge weakness in both of those companies, and Hive today started daily consolidation. This is why I said to be cautious on these blockchain names, as when we do consolidate, we could likely pull back 10, 20, 30%. And sure enough, on Hive today, we pulled back 27%. But zooming in on had a couple of trades today on Hive, day trades today. But look at this from the low of the day to begin the day. 526, we were in the teens. We were down, actually not quite, it looks like. We just touched down on 20 there, but we hit 5-minute oversold and heavily oversold, coming off new all-time highs and huge bull moves. And from that, if you would have waited for that daily consolidation and didn't swing last week, or you bought the dip this morning as a day trade, in about 30 minutes, we were up almost 40%. So that was a crazy bounce off the low of the day to the high of the day, and extremely impressive. And then we just faded it. We went right back down into a 5-minute downtrend, and we got 5-minute oversold again. And I bought that. I think I filled around 602, and we saw a bounce to 655. So from my entry there, we were looking at about 9%. So lots of volatility in both directions there on Hive today. So we'll want to change the hourly trend on Hive. So we did lose the hourly uptrend, so now we're scouting an hourly higher low. And we are bouncing off EMA 26. So we'll monitor that going into tomorrow. But just looking for a daily higher low at this point. And volume is still huge. Earnings coming up here a week from tomorrow. So we'll take a look at SPY. So SPY confirmed a daily downtrend. And as if that wasn't enough, we lost the daily higher lows from back here on the 10th of February. So we confirmed a daily bull flag, and we went into a new all-time high, and then we held support at 387.50. But today, after setting a lower high on Friday, we confirmed a lower low. We're now in a daily downtrend on SPY. So significant momentum shift. We saw an upper wick of profit taking today and ultimately closed below EMA 12. Could be heading to EMA 26 tomorrow down at 384.79, but no support all the way down to 368. And QQQ, no support till 312, very weak, close near the low of the day, increasing bear volume, starting to see these EMA curls as well. And we did bounce just a tiny bit. You could say that we were in a daily downtrend as well, but not really much of a bounce there to consider that a lower high. But if we play resistance here, we'll look at all-time highs up at 338.19 and support at 312.76. So notable weakness in tech today. And again, I highlighted that. I brought it up in Tesla and Apple, and reiterated the fact that we could be seeing daily downtrends. We could be seeing EMA 12 and 26 bear crosses, and that's exactly what we got today. Tesla seeing a very, very, very weak day that it's almost as if it's just strange seeing weakness in Tesla and no support really down here. We have previous all-time highs at 695, so that could be a potential old resistance acting as new support. But we do have a mini daily higher low here at 655, which is the most nearby support. Zooming out to the weekly, we did lose EMA 12, so we do have EMA 26 sitting at 619.81. But we have no weekly support all the way down until 379. But we've been holding EMA 12 since all the way back here in March and April. And this is the first time we've lost it, so we've seen a significant momentum shift. And hopefully you're able to benefit from my warning on Friday. I called that out and cautioned that Tesla and Apple and big tech were looking extremely bearish. And we got that follow through today. So the dollar is still weak, set a lower high into a lower low. So daily downtrend confirmed. But bulls trying to save the dip here. Got about an hour and a half left of this candle. On the weekly time frame, still searching for a weekly higher low compared to 89.20. If we break above resistance of 91.60, that confirms a weekly uptrend, and then they will have our attention. We'll be a little bit scared for our risky assets such as stocks and crypto, and maybe not so much metals because they have been pretty beat up here lately. But DXY looking pretty bearish at this point. So moving on, we'll take a look at IWM. So we saw SPY started to break to the low of the day. A lot of these sectors went from the high of the day down to the low of the day, and that's why we saw a significant sell-off in SPY. And the semiconductor ETF, the sector ETF sector, it's showing some notable weakness as well. So basically in the same boat as QQQ, very, very weak. And SPY, like I said, sold off with all other, and the solar sector today was down almost 10%, just getting whacked. US oil continues to bust higher, and EMA 12 was a nice support entry there, and daily higher low looks to be confirmed. We'll zoom into the 4-hour chart. So 4-hour uptrend, the 4-hour low, high, higher low, higher high. So 4-hour uptrend and daily higher low is set. So oil is looking good, but just be cautious here. We'll want to see how this ends. If we close outside of this resistance line here on the monthly, we could even see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross here on the monthly as well. So just be cautious of that resistance line. We could potentially pull back, but we've got a little over a week now, or a little under a week, sorry, left for only 28 days in this month. So we only have 4 trading days left. So we'll see. This could get interesting. Let's see if we close above that line by the end of the week. So silver getting its daily bounce going, stronger than gold today, up over 3%. Gold was up about 1.5%. So silver breaking above resistance, no real resistance until up at 30.13 on the daily. And gold above EMA 12 resistance and daily bounce underway, but just a little weaker than silver at this point. Silver still holding the EMAs and gold trying to regain them. XBI was down. The biotech sector was down 3% today. Notable weakness. And again, all sectors were selling off into the end of the day. XLE standing out as one of the stronger sectors, obviously with the strength in oil. And XLF, financial sector, also held the market up today. So if XLE and XLF were weak today, SPY would have seen some significant selling pressure. So bulls got bailed out there. The SPY bulls got bailed out by the financials and the energies. And the healthcare sector was fairly strong today. So we'll see tomorrow, we did see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross potentially here. So we'll see if bulls can save it going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. So moving on, we'll take a look at some individual tickers. So again, last week on Tesla, we were getting extremely bearish, and we are almost daily oversold since the first time since March last year, since the dump. So you better believe there's going to be a lot of people ready to buy the dip on Tesla. It's just there's no sign of it yet. We closed near the low of the day. We do have the previous all-time high, like I mentioned, but no real daily support until down here at 655, and then we have a clear support level here at 614. So we could be heading to the 600s or the 500s on Tesla. We saw the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, and we're in a clear daily downtrend. Taking a look at the weekly, just looking for weekly higher lows. We lost EMA 12, could be potentially heading to EMA 26, which is down at 619.81. And no weekly support, like I mentioned, from all the way down here at 379. We do have the old previous all-time high here as well at 502, which we clearly found resistance and backed off from back in the summertime. So 500 could be a nice support entry. Another way to do it would be to average in. We are seeing declining bear volume here on the weekly chart. Mind you, it's only Monday, so we could see an uptick in bear volume this week. So we'll be watching Tesla very closely. Apple, again, I mentioned this on Friday that it looked very weak, and weekly consolidation tried to bounce, hit EMA 12 and confirmed as resistance, ultimately closing below. And daily downtrend, we had a daily bear flag here that confirmed. And on Apple, we lost 126.38, so we have no daily support until 123.45. And we're almost daily overbought on Apple as well. Again, that'd be the first time since March. So we need to see hourly trend changes on Tesla and Apple and all of these names. So we have the low here at 125. So if we form a higher low, which we're attempting, compared to 125.60, and then we break above resistance here at 127.96, we can be confident that now that the hourly uptrend is confirmed, that the daily higher lows are set, and we can potentially see the daily bounce underway, but we'll want to break the high of yesterday to confirm. But we did see increasing bear volume there on the hourly and on the daily. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. And like I said last week, on Friday, we were very bearish on the stochastic. We were very bearish on the MACD, and we lost the 10-week moving average. We closed below it. There's no weekly 50 moving average until 411. And on the daily time frame, we lost the 50 today. So that was notable. And no support until the 100-day moving average down at 616. And today, you can see here, we lost the 50 daily moving average. So we lost the 50 DMA, and then today we bounced, and it was confirmed as support. And then today we bounced and confirmed resistance, and then closed down near the low of the day. So very bearish candle and day and week so far on Tesla, and we'll see how we open tomorrow, but we could potentially see some gap downs setting up. So just be aware, it can always go lower than you think. I cautioned a lot last week, and I know a lot of people, even today, we saw a lot of people just jump into some blockchain names like DMGI, Hive, and just, not caring about the price, just wanting to buy, and they're okay with the added risk, don't really care where they fill, and that's where things can start to get a little risky. So just know that there's always a better entry, and let the trade come to you. There's no need to force it. So on the bear list, we had DFLY. I wanted to highlight this as well. Today we had an awesome trade opportunity on Dragonfly. So from all the way up at 373, the last hourly resistance, we had a lower high, 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 lower high. So for 8, 9 candles in a row, today, as soon as we broke that higher low pattern, we also hit hourly oversold today after coming off huge all-time highs. And we were close to hourly oversold back here before we saw a huge bounce as well. Just on that small touchdown of hourly oversold, ran 75%. So today we were getting extreme, and we would have pretty much touched down on 4-hour oversold as well based on that wick. But nice opportunity here. We were down in the teens. We got as low as 17 on the RSI, and you could have scouted a 5-minute trend change. So as soon as we had this low, high, higher, low, as soon as we broke this high here and confirmed the hourly or the 5-minute trend change, that's when you could have entered on that signal and set your stop below the low of the day, and you would have made upwards of 8% just on that small little day trade. But we ended the day in a 5-minute downtrend. And just looking for an hourly higher low to change that hourly trend. If we set an hourly higher low here compared to the low of 271, that would give us our higher low. And then if we break this resistance here at 313, that would give us our higher high and a confirmed uptrend. And then we could be confident that, well, fairly confident that our daily higher lows are set and their temporary bottoms are set. But we are in a daily downtrend. And on the daily chart here, we need to break the high of the previous daily candle. So we need to get over this high and confirm that the daily bounce is underway. But that's pretty much it for DFLY. We had Dash, Fiverr, Riot. So Riot seeing some profit taking. You can see here the upper wicks the last few days. And we are still holding the daily uptrend, but we're coming into a clear key support level here at 58.77. If we lose 58.77, then we are in trouble. We don't have any support from all the way down here at 32.25. We have the EMAs. We have EMA 12 at 52.31 and EMA 26 at 39.66. But personally, I would be a little worried at this point. If still a bull in bull positions, I would definitely be trimming and finding resistance there at EMA 12. So AMC, GME, and Suncor leading the bull list today. So again, AMC was pumping on news of some reopenings and theaters and such in the States. So we'll take a quick look at the cannabis sector. I'm going to do everything in one video today. I wasn't going to, but I just decided right now that I was going to do so. So on CGC, we're in a daily downtrend. Coming off of the highs here, 56.50. And we hit the low, lower high, lower low, daily downtrend confirmed. And we broke the daily inside bar. We had support at 36.81, 36.90. So we didn't break the inside bar at this point. We have a lot of inside bars on watch. So we had an inside bar on Friday and an even tighter range here now today. So we have support at 36.81 and resistance up at 39.54. But going into tomorrow, we'll also have resistance at 38.90, the high of today, and support at 36.90. So if we break that inside bar bullish, there's a good chance we're heading to resistance here at 43.41. If we break it bearish, then there's a good chance we're heading to 36 and change or below. We have a daily higher low here at 32.47 as another potential level. And we could even see a bear cross here on these EMAs on CGC, but CGC, the leader in the space, not exactly what we want to be seeing as bulls, but weekly consolidation underway. And inside bar on the weekly, we do have EMA 12 sitting there at 34.21 as a potential bounce zone as well. But based on the size of this pullback, we'll likely just anticipate something along these lines, a tightening range. But SPY going to dictate a lot of the momentum from here. SPY's in daily downtrends. There's no coincidence, in my opinion, that CGC is in daily downtrends. So just following the S&P 500. APHA, daily inside bars continue. ACB broke it bearish. So we could be seeing a little bit of an early indicator, but I don't consider ACB a leader by any means, so I'm not going to use them as a reliable indicator or heads up clue. If it was CGC, I'd be worried. But the leaders, APHA, CGC, holding those daily inside bars. Cron's got earnings on Friday, pre-market, breaking its inside bar bearish, so a little bit weaker. So that's notable. Hexo, we did lose the daily inside bars, but not by much. And we do have EMA 26 there at 739. Most important support is going to be 691. If we lose 691, we confirm daily downtrends just like CGC. But Hexo set up a lot better, still in a daily uptrend at this point. Set up a lot better than most names. TLRY, could say we're in a daily downtrend now as well. Just looking to bounce off EMA 26 here at 26.25. We did close above that, and we are up here about 1.5% after hours. So MSOS holding daily EMA 12. So that's notable. Just want to take a look here at the bull and bear list as well. So Xena, TLRY, huge PCLO, OGI, SNDL leading the decline. And we only had RIV green today. That's notable. And High Tide closed flat on the day. So a lot of red out there. On the US side, we had Ian, MMEN, KHRN, and GRWG leading the decline. And we had a little bit of green here, MJNA, TerraSend, and VREO. But pretty red day for the most part, and just weakness in the overall broader market brought weakness to the cannabis sectors as well. So we'll take a look at MSOS here again, daily inside bar. So very, very similar to a lot of the top Canadian plays, but difference here is we're holding EMA 12, and we're we could say we're in a daily downtrend here. If you wanted to argue and say that's wasn't a big enough lower high or bounce, I wouldn't argue with you. So just looking for a higher low compared to 40.33, but ultimately holding EMA 12, so it looks good. If we lose EMA 12 here at 50.52 and then 50 psychological, we're likely heading down to EMA 26. Or if we see weakness in SPY tomorrow or a gap down, we'll likely be heading to EMA 26 sitting at 47.83, so around the $48 level. But set up well here, lots of space to form this higher low. I'm going to be scouting entries in MSOS tomorrow. And we'll just take a look at some of the bigger MSOs. So CL tried to get its daily bounce underway today. Ultimately closed back within that inside bar range. Cura, inside bar on watch for tomorrow as well. GTII broke it bearish, but holding EMA 12, so a little bit weaker, but no major red flags. And TrueLeave. So TrueLeave closed near the low of the day, at the low of the day. And we had support here at 58.64, and we closed at 58.63. So things are getting interesting on TrueLeave. But tomorrow we could see a gap down to EMA 26 if, again, weakness in SPY, and that's sitting at 56.79. But no daily higher low after that, support until 47.90. So just be cautious out there tomorrow. So we're going to end it there. So in summary, just like I said, make sure to have a plan going into tomorrow. Don't get overly bullish, and just be aware that this is a significant momentum shift that we've seen in the markets, in big tech, and we know that we're likely due for some consolidation on SPY. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, get rid of these lines here. So we did break the low here, 387.74, 386.74. So we are consolidating on the weekly, and no EMA 12 support until 378.37. EMA 26 down at 363.30. We do have this weekly higher low though here at 368.27. So just make sure you have a plan, and one of these times we could see a nasty and fast drop. It could drop 10, 20 might not happen in a day, but just be prepared that there's a very real possibility that we could drop 10, 20% on SPY. It's going to happen at some point. Nothing goes straight up forever. And EMA 12 has been holding here. Well, both EMAs have been holding very strong since the lows in March. But if we do lose EMA 12, that's going to be notable. That'll be the first time since back in November. So just make sure you have a plan, utilize those stop losses, and just don't get overly bullish and caught up in all the FOMO. I see every day a new penny stock floating around, and just make sure that you understand you're using, whether or not you're hedging with SPY puts or SPXS, bear ETF, whatever you got to do. Maybe trim your position sizing down, whatever you got to do to mitigate risk and protect capital. I know for one, I've seen tremendous gains in the last few months and the last year. So going to be in capital preservation mode. So best of luck to everybody going into tomorrow. Hope everyone had a fantastic day. Hope you found the stream valuable today. If there's any questions, I'll open it up real quick here. If anybody has any tickers they would like covered, just shoot them in the chat. It's been fairly quiet today. I guess that just means everybody saw this coming and everybody de-risked and everybody's pros. But also just want to show the hourly chart here on SPY. It's pretty wild. You got this lower high dip, lower high dip, lower high dip. And we've been seeing extreme volatility in both directions. So volatility picking up. It's time to start being cautious. And I don't see any immediate questions in the chat room, so we're going to end it there. Thanks so much for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. Make sure to smash like and consider subscribing to the channel. It shows me some support. We'll see you tomorrow after market.